So today we will start talking, or we will continue talking about the day 2 of Advanced Excel. But I will answer for this question after we finish the course today. So today we will talk about the pivot table and the conditional forming. Is there any problem? Anybody here? Somebody has raised his hand, so I need to know if there is any. Today we will talk about the pivot table and how to use the pivot table. Also about how to use the condition formatting in Excel, and how to deal with what's called the solver and the major error in Excel, and how to add data from internet. And if we have time, we will talk about the developer. But before we talk about the pivot table, yesterday somebody have asked me about how we can make columns in Excel. So here, if we want to say, let's open here. If we want to add rows in Excel, we should go to Insert. From Insert, we can put our tables, any table you need here, by clicking on the cells, and you can add your table like this. And there is information I want to tell you. Yesterday, I didn't tell you about it. That when we do the function sum, and we put this data between quantity, and we have already see the sum of the quantity here. Also, this column have a good thing here is also we can calculate another thing, not only the sum. Here we can calculate the minimum, 44, or we can calculate the maximum, or the standard deviation, and other function. So this was my answer for how we can make table in Excel. Another time by going to Insert, here, Insert, Table, Insert Table, and you can choose the range you need, like this, small, big, bigger, as you like. This is how we add column. The advantage about this column that after we use the function sum, we can also know everything. We can know another thing like average, like maximum, like minimum. Also, the count numbers here was 10, and we have also more function we can see. We can use more function. So this was answer for one questions. I got it yesterday. So now we will back to our presentation and start talking about the pivot table. So what is the meaning of the pivot table, and what is the using of the pivot table? The pivot table is a summary of your data, packaged in a chart that let you report and export trends based on your information. The pivot table are particularly useful if you have long rows or columns that hold value and you need to track the sum of and easily compare to one other. So the uses of the pivot table in Excel is very unique and very nice in order to minimize and order to organize your data if you have a lot of data. So here, if we want to back to Excel, and I have just to share this with you. If we have this data have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. And all of these columns are starting with names like product name, store name, price of one piece, number of the pieces, and invoices amount, and the date of buying. This is a normal table. It's not a big table, it's a small example of how we can deal with the pivot table. So suppose this data we want to make pivot table for them. So we need to go to insert and make this called a pivot table. Here, what is the meaning of the pivot table? It is easily arrange and summarize complex data in a pivot table. You can double click value to see what details value makes up the summarized total. So here, if I have this data and I want to make for them pivot table, so I want to choose this data. See how we want to make choose. We can't choose from here because he will put for me a blank. So we have to put all this data and he will give me this box. He asked me, do you want to put this pivot table in the existing worksheet or in a new worksheet? So in this case, we have to put it into new worksheet in order to have new sheets for this pivot table. So we will make OK. After making OK, we have here what called the pivot table fields. It's the product number and the store number, the prices of one piece, the number of pieces, and the invoice amount and the date of buying. That's the data which we have summarized here and put it as and put them when we make for them arrangement here. So these fields, just one moment, please. Okay. So these fields, we need to put them into these areas. We want to put them in filters or in columns or in rows and in values. So the product number is a type of rows. So we put them here as rows. We can't put them as here also. We can't put, if we make remove, it will go. But we can't put it as values because these are numbers, not quantity. So you can transfer this from values to rows. Here also the store number, you can put it even by rows. You will see product 1. We have 1 of product 1. We have 2 of product 3. We have 5 and 6 of product 11. Or you can put it into values. So in this case, the sum of store number for a product 1 is 1. The sum of a product 10 is 2. And the sum of a product and the sum of store for product 11 is 11. And also you can put the prices of one piece. So product 1, the sum of one price is 105. And also you can put number of pieces. This is where in values, because these quantities. Invoice amount, you can put it on filters, like here. So when you make, select here, and you want to see any invoice, you just click here, and you choose any one of them, and you will see that when the invoice amount was 18, it was belong to product 8. But this is not right. So we have to remove this, and we can put date of buying into the filter. By clicking here, if we want to see the date, buying in 14th of January, he will put for me what he buy on 14th of January, just product 5. Even we want to deal with 17, 4 of a product 8. If we want to select them all, it will show me all the products that buying the all dates that we put it from the first sheets. Invoice amount also can be used as values. Here we can add this here, or you can create a value here. So the pivot table is the way of what you can make or what you want to do. Even put the rows, even wrote the values, is depending on what you want to deal with your data. It's the type, to organize your data in a very good way and in a very right way. Here, if we see that there's something very nice also in the pivot table. If we go to the pivot table options and go to the display, and we want to change the shape of the pivot table, by clicking on a classic pivot table, we will have this or this type. If you don't need this type, you just go to the pivot table here, going to the display, ignore what you have done. You will have the same pivot table before. And also by clicking here, he give you too much of condition. If you want to see the maximum, he will put for you the maximum. If you want to see the minimum, he will put for you the minimum. If you want the count, he will put the count. So all the quantity will change. All the time we just deal with sum. So we will back here and write sum. Another thing I want to tell about the pivot table is the way if you want to make print for a pivot table or for anything you want to make for the print. There is something in the print option is very good how to deal with them. Here, from the settings, you can change the type between portrait to landscape. Here has been changed. Also, you can change the type of the paper, maybe A3, maybe A5, maybe anything you want legal. And if you want more options, by clicking on page setups and by clicking on sheets or page or merge, you can see how you can deal here. If you want the center on the page horizontal, you want it vertical, you can change what you want in print options. Also, you can, if you want to make customer header or customer footer, here, by clicking here, make OK. It's called the pivot table. So this is another thing in the print settings and how to make prints. By backing here, so you have now this pivot table, and this is your data. By clicking here, you can rename this data. And back here, rename pivot table. See how we deal with pivot table. Here we have the data. Look how the data is looking. And look how the pivot table is looking in a very organized way. So the using of the pivot table is to organize your data in a very good way. This was before I do pivot table for this. And this is the new pivot table. So this is the major thing about the using of pivot table. Now we will back to our presentation and to see what is the meaning of the conditional formatting in Excel and why we use the conditional formatting in Excel. So the conditional formatting is a feature in many spreadsheet applications that allow you to apply specific formatting to cells that meet certain criteria. This we will talk about in the other example. It is most often used a color-based formatting to highlight or emphasize or differentiate among data and information stored in a spreadsheet. How we can deal with this? So I have this table, and I want to make conditional formatting for them. By clicking on conditional formatting, you will have a lot of icons here. Highlight cell, top 10 cell, data bar, color scale, icon scale, and the neural. Suppose that we have these branches, and here is the name of employee, here is the product, and here is the sales for each product. And the branches are located in Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and in Newcastle. So from this table, I want to deal with what's called the conditional formatting, and I want you to give me the value which is the greater than a number. So in this case, if I have these cells and back here, and I want the value which is greater than 3,000, and I want it to be in green color. So he put for me all the values which is greater than our condition we put, and we see that he put it in a green color. I want to change this color. I want greater than, sorry, I need to put here. But before we do this, we should go to conditional forming, make a clear rule, clear rules from entered sheets. So it's done. So I back to the condition formatting here, and I make these cells like this, going to home, make conditional formatting, and I want which is greater than 2,000 or 9,000. I don't have 9,000 here, so he will not make anything. 8,000. But please change for me the color. This is green. So here is the cells. I just want to ask, there is one of the people raising his hand here. I need to know if there is any problem, but I told you that I will answer your question after I finish this course. Conditional forming, clear rules. Let's see other conditional forming or less than. Here is our data, home, conditional forming, less than 3,000, for example. You put your rule, and I want them in yellow. You will put for me all the values that was less than our condition. Going to conditional forming, clear rule. It was clear. Okay. Here, between, it's also the same. Here we will deal with two values, between 300, for example, and between 6,000. You will not do anything because I didn't make any marks. I didn't bold or select any of data. So back to conditional formatting, between 3,000, 4,000. I don't like the red color. I want green. Or I want to change this color. Between, going to custom formats, going to board, fill, I want this. Now, clear rule from enter cell and back to condition. So this is the highlight cell. Okay, how we can deal with text equal before talking about text equal, you just click on a specific cell and I want them to be highlighted in color. Like I have these quantities, home, conditional forming, equal to 3,000. I want this specific and I want them in light red. Here's 3,000. Here, a very nice thing also here, I want text which contain. So in this case, I have to select them all, going to home, conditional forming, text that contain Ottawa, for example. He will write for me Ottawa. I want M. He will put for me all the cells that have M. I need to be more specific. I want Samsung. He will put for me Samsung. I want Huawei. Until now, Ethan is same to Huawei because have HA, Huawei. And if I want to be more specific, Huawei Mate 20. And I want them in light red. This is Huawei Mate 20. Here, clear law, like this. By backing to conditional forming, we need to know if there is any duplicated value. So I want to put here Newcastle, Steven, Samsung, or let's say Nokia, for 4G, 3,000. That's what I have got. And please, here, see for me who's the duplicated value. And I want them in red color, or I want them in green. Steven is duplicate. Newcastle is duplicate, and also 3,000 is duplicate. I back in conditional forming, clear rule, and I want to clear this. So this was how to make highlight cell, which is greater, which is less, which is between and equal, and text and duplicated values. Data accreditation, we need data which have date, because we are talking about introduction, or we talk about the introduction, so there is no way there is no need to talk about that operation. Also, the top and the bottom rules, you will put your condition and he will make for you all the data in a specific color. Also, data bars. Data bars is very nice. If we back here and we put here and go to conditional forming, and I want data bar, solid fill. Too much of nice things in conditional forming. Here also you can see green, yellow, red. Green is bigger, yellow is smaller, red. Anything you want, you can deal with the conditional forming here. There is very important thing if we want to deal with icon sets, these icon cells. But these icon cells is not clarify. So I want to make clarify for these icon cells. So going to conditional forming, managing rules, this my rules. So this I want it to be in numbers. When the value is bigger than 6,000, please make it like this. When the value is less than 3,000, please make it like this. And here when it's here, sorry, it's greater than 6,000, less than 4,000 numbers, okay, all of your icons has been changed, because you can manage your rule. That's why called manage rules. And they also can be used for the icon set for any shapes, directions, indicators, rating. You can manage the rules you want. So this was a brief how to use the conditional forming by highlighting, by top 10. Okay, I will give example for how to use top 10 items here. Going to home and top 10 items. I don't want top 10, I want top 6 or top 5 or top 3 or top 2. And I want them in light red color. So he also make for me what I need from him or what I want. Here we make clear rule for income. Now we want to deal with how to add new role in Excel. How I give these items, this is a randomly items. By clicking on equal range, this is a new function. Range between, for example, 12 and 100. I will have this number, and the number is changed here. If I make copy for these items and put it here again, this item has been changed. This is copy again. This item has been changed. So in order to stop this changing, I have to make paste by variables and put them here. Copy. So here, paste, sorry, by variables. Put them here. Paste. Not change, the same. This was randomly number and how to get randomly number in Excel by putting range between You have to wait for me one moment. I have to delete all of these items or leave them, no problem. So let's back here to this table. This cell which contained this number, it was by using range between. This table, I have made it. So I have this table. And I want to create my rule. By clicking here, going to home, conditional forming, I want new role. My new role is depending on use a formula to determine which cell to format. I will put this here, and I want this item. This item is located into G4, the line G4. So I just want to delete this, put S dollar, well, B4 is equal between two quotation Ottawa, for example, close, and I want the format for them to be green. Okay, change Ottawa. For example, I want for Vancouver. So go to home, make conditional forming, in new role, use formula to determine, entering here, the same, it's located in G4 by equal S dollar G4 is equal between two quotation Vancouver, close. What is your format you want? Let's say I want red. Okay. Okay. But why he didn't do this? Because I didn't select this. So other time we have to do it. Conditional forming, new roles, use a formula to determine which cell. Here, see here, it's located in G4 by equal S dollar, by equal S dollar B4 is equal between two quotation Vancouver, for example, close, and I want them to be in yellow color. Okay, Vancouver was in yellow color. So this was how to use the conditional forming in Excel and how to use the new role in Excel. So now we will back to our presentation and we will talk about the major errors in Excel. Major error in Excel can be divided into these errors. When we have this error, it means that the Excel cannot find the value you're looking for it. What I mean here, that if there was a range for items and you delete one of these cells, so in this case, he will not can't find the value because you deleted. So in order to fix it, you need to put the cell again. Name of the function is not correct. When you deal with any function and you have range and you want to write sum and you didn't write sum, you write sum mm. So in this case, he will give you problem that the name of the function is not true. So you need to put the right name of the function. If we have this error in Excel, that he cannot make division on 0 because division is 0 is not correct. If we have this problem in Excel, which called NUL, wrong in the range formula, which I mean that if you have too many of cells and you want to make the range of them, and you take other cell without any quantity on it or anything on it, you will have this error. Reference that the reference not found. And you do something wrong in Excel that the reference was not found. When you have this error, the results are not understood on Excel. When we deal with too big equation, and you put integer or you make problem in the mathematics, you will have this error. And finally, the reference not found, the cell is not found. You make range for something is not found. This was the major error in Excel. Now let's back for a very beautiful function which called solver. The solver is one of the most important function in Excel. What is the meaning of the solver? Sorry. Microsoft Excel add in a program you can use for what? Analysis. Use solver to find an optimal maximum or a minimum value or a formula in one cell called the objective cell, subjected to constraints or limited on the values of other formula cells on a worksheet. What is the use of solver? The process of finding the correct input value when only the output is known. So how we can deal with solver? To understand solver, you should have example how to deal with solver. Solver function can help you in take decision if you are working in a big company and there is a profit. You want to get this profit, but you don't know how many of the products you need to buy or to sell. So the solver can help you to identify for you the number of these products. Here, how we deal with solver. The manual of Excel don't have the solver in his home. This is the solver. But how we can get the solver? Here, by clicking here, going to what called custom the rebound, by going here and make add, okay. If it didn't clean, you should go to File, Option, Rebound, or go to Add Link. Then go OK, go. Here will have you the solver. By clicking here, the solver, you will have the solver in your data. This is the function solver. What he tell you? What if analysis tools that find the optimum value of a target cell by changing value in cell used to calculate the target cell? How? If we have this example, in this example, we have to take a final decision for the number of a product which can give maximum profit for the factory which produced 4 different types of products. And the income of the first product is $12, second is $18. Third product is $22. Fourth is $25. But there is some conditions. Please note that the high number of a product is 600. And in order to fill the request company, we need 75 of a product 1, 50 of a product 2. The number of a product 3 should not less than 20. Please concentrate what I mean, not less. And the number of a product 4 is not more. There is two different between not less and not more. So how we can solve this example by using the solver? We make small box here, and we say that we have 4 types of products, starting in a product 1 and entering in a product 4. The high number of products is 600. So in order to have the 600, if we make 600 multiplied 4, here, 600 divided by 4, it will be 150 for each product. 150 is 150, 150, also 150. So the total will be sum for all of these products here and the close. So we have 600. So the high number of product is 600 here. The profit of each product, first product is $12. The second is $18. The third is 22, and the fourth is 25. The total here will be these products multiplied or divide or multiplied by the profit here. We will have the total here, and by using this, so each total for each product, it will be the number multiplied by the profit, and we have the total here. So we will write sum of these total close. Here is the sum of the products. Now we want to deal with solver. The solver is located in data. This is the solver. How we can deal with solver? This is what he gave me, but I want to make it manually. Okay. Solver parameters, set objective, our objective, this cell. We are looking for maximum. The high number of a product is 600. What is the changing variable cells here? The changing variable cells is product 1 to product 4. Subject to the constants, we have to make add. So the high number of a product is 600. So this should be equal to 600. Please make for me add. 75 of a product 1. Product 1 here is bigger or equal 75. Add. Product 2 also bigger or equal 50. Add. The number of a product 3 should not be less than 20, which means that the product 3 is bigger or equal 20. Add. Finally, the number of a product 4 should be not more than 25. So here, is less or equal 25. Okay. Now we will make our solver. Click the solver. This item should be changed. So we will back because the solver needs 2 or 3 times until it generates. First time will not be generate. So we will back again to data, solver, solver. If it didn't come, back to data, solver, and we need to make this again. If it didn't come today, tomorrow I will back to this point and make more explanation about this because there is problem in solver here in Excel. I will make delete for all of these. Delete another time. Delete. 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 Here. So our objective to deal with the total. Change in variable cells is our product. How to deal? By add. This should be equal 600. Make add. 75 of a product 1 is bigger or equal 75. Add. Product 2 also bigger or equal to 50. Add. The number of the product 3 should bigger or equal to 20. Add. Finally, product number 4 is less or equal to 25. Okay. Please make for me the solver. Okay. So this is, you see, our amount is changed. So our solver here told us we need 900 here, 900 here, and 9,900 here, 625 in order to make all profit. So you need this number. This is the use of our solver in Excel. Finally, we will talk about very important thing in Excel. It's called how to bring data from internet. Here I have my internet. This will need time, and I want to see the European countries by population on 2021, and I have these countries, and I want to put this data on Excel. So you have 2 ways, even by clicking here, make copy, going to Excel, and make paste. You will have these data, or going to internet, take the link, make copy, back to Excel, back to Excel, make data from web. Sorry, I need to put it into new folder. Here what I did, that I go to the internet and go to the world meter population for countries. And there is two ways to deal with data, even by make copy paste on the normal way. Here, by clicking paste this data, by clicking paste, you will have your data. Or you can go to data from web and choose your link. Put your link here, paste, and make improve or import. You will just click yes one time, import, yes another time, import. You will have need time. You will have extend worksheet. You will have all your data you want, but here saying getting data. Need time to entering data. This is how we can add data from internet. Here, see, this is how we get data from internet, by data from web, and you choose the link. So dear, this was our talking today. Tomorrow we will talk about the developer in Excel and the difference between the control and the active box in developer, and how to deal with Marco in Excel, and what is the Visual Basic for application, and how to write codes in Excel. And finally, we have one example for how to deal with Excel. And tomorrow, we will finish this course. So thank you so much.